Hello guys, welcome to the question 27 of our database management systems. So we are still continuing our continuous question that we started in question 16, and it's good to watch the other videos as well because you can relate to this database more easily if you have watched those videos. So let's start with the question first, and the first question in our question 27 is, what is the number of students studying in class 11A? So let's start with writing the query. First we are going to search the details of the student. And now we are going to filter these students to the condition 11A. So let's write the where clause. We are using subqueries to achieve this step. And here you can see we have filtered these details to students who are in 11A. Now we can count the amount of students. So let's execute this query, and you will get the count as 4. Moving on to the second question, we have find the number of students who scored between 40 and 90 marks in all subjects in the first term examination. So we just need to find out the number of data records in our database for this condition. And let's write the query now. So we are getting the details first. And now let's start with filtering this data to the condition we have in the question. So first we are going to filter the term as we need the first term. And now we are going to filter these marks. So when we execute this, you can see the data records we have. And now let's count the data records. So let's execute this, and you will get the number of records here like this. So moving on to the third question, what is the number of students appearing in the subject of science in the second term examination out of all students studying in all classes of grade 11? So we just need to find out the number of students who sat for the science examination in second term from grade 11 classes. And let's write the query now. So we got the student records here, and let's start with filtering this according to the conditions we have. So we are going to give subqueries for this step, and we are going to search for the second term, term ID, and science subject ID to filter these details from the student exam mark record table. So let's write the query now. So this is how we give our subqueries, and let's execute this. Oops, sorry, I have an error here. I mistakenly add a where clause again to this condition, or a mistake in the table name as well. So subject is the table name here, and execute this, and you will get the data records for this query. Now we need to count the students. So executing this, you will get the number of students like this. So the fourth question is, find all the following details of 11A class students who scored more than 60 marks in mathematics in the second term examination. So what we need to present is the admission number, first name, last name, mark, and the date of examination on these students. So let's write the query now. So we need to join some tables to this because we need all the details of these students. And let's start with joining these tables. So we have connected all the tables, and let's execute this, and you will get the details of these students like this. Now let's start with filtering this data according to the conditions we have in the question. So we're done with the query, and let's execute this, and you will get the details of the students who sat for the second term mathematics examination from class 11A and achieved above 60 for the marks. So let's move on to the fifth question, and the fifth question is find the number of students in class 11A who scored more than 60 marks in the science subject from second term examination. So we just need to count the number of students who sat for science subject in second term and got above 60 from class 11A. Now let's start with writing the query. So first we get the records of the students, and let's start with writing the conditions for this. So for the where clauses in this, I have used subqueries to get the class ID and the term ID and the subject ID for the class 11A, second term and science from their respective tables. So we are going to write these subqueries now. So in here we have got the index number of students for this first subquery, as we need the index numbers to count the number of students in future. So we gave it like this, and we have the records here for the students who are in 11A. And let's start with giving the other conditions. So we have the records about the students who sat for the second term science examination and got above 60 marks from class 11A. And now let's count the students who got the results. So executing this, you will get the number of students who sat for this second term science examination from class 11A and got above 60 marks. So that's all for the question 27. And thank you for watching. Have a nice day.